Hi Blues, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Andy's Man Club Mersey Blue podcast. So, I am on my own tonight. Carl is still laid up with his recent injury, so Godspeed, my mate. Get back to us soon, hopefully for the Brighton game. And Mark is busy and unavailable with work. However, he has sent us a couple of sound bites, which I will play, so you can all hear his opinions. And lastly, just our usual shout out to our friend Chris Darracott over in the Blue Corner on Facebook and YouTube. Go and give him a follow. He's a good lad and he's a proper Blue. Okay, so let's get into Everton versus Leeds. So we line up 4-2-3-1. Jordan Pickford between the sticks, Nathan Patterson, Jake O'Brien, James Tarkowski and Mikalenko make up the defence. The returning Garner Guy and Jimmy Garner as the two. McNeil, Armstrong and Njai in front of them, all backing up Tierno, Barry. So the first half starts and it really wasn't great. We had a good opening 5 minutes, early pressure, we won a couple of corners and that was literally it. Leeds grew into the game and they totally dominated it. They got their reward with the opening goal on the half hour. We just got caught out. Bogle crossed over across the area. Unmarked, James Justin at the far post, 1-0 Leeds. No complaints, fully deserved. We just looked slow and predictable in our play. A couple of minutes later, it should really have been 2-0. The returning Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he hit the post and it was easy to make it 2-0, to be fair, than to, miss. But, the warnings were there. Leeds continue to push on and, to be honest, they really should have been ahead by a lot more. Jimmy Garner, he shot wide at the end of the first half. We got what we deserved. Absolutely sweet fuck all. The first half was just a totally frustrating watch. We were outplayed, outworked by a much better Leeds side. No complaints. I say thankfully the damage wasn't worse. Whistle went for half time and a chorus of boos rang out deservedly around the Dixie. Half time, Everton 0. Surprisingly, Leeds United only 1. Here's Mark's thoughts.
Hey, good afternoon, boys. Good afternoon, Blue Nation. I'm, chiming in this week from just about a half a day outside of Hawaii. So, I'm a few hours behind you guys. Before I give my thoughts on the match, I wanted to address a few things this week. The first is the Winslow Hotel closed down this week. I think they said it was 144 years of the People's Pub. And I was fortunate enough to drink in there a couple of times. The last time, 2023, for a match against Tottenham with my wife. And what a lovely place. I mean, so much history in there. Such a neat looking building. Just classic, And sad to see it go. I got some friends that are taking some of the iconic photos in there and making up some commemorative stickers and t-shirts because it had such a prominent place in the landscape of the club. And real sad to see it go. The one bad thing about the new barn is that the area around Goodison, I think, is going to fall a little bit further down into economic disrepair, but hopefully they can get something out there to revive it. The next thing I wanted to address is that I know there's a little bit of anticipation with DCL coming back home, and I know that my opinion is probably in the minority, and I've kind of done some reading online with the various groups that I participate in and the various pages that I follow, and I don't think it's right that he gets so much stick. I mean, I know he left. I know he held out for too much money, but the dude really did suffer some gruesome injuries playing for our badge. And especially that ruptured cheekbone or whatever it was, where his face practically exploded. It was pretty gross. And the lad he made up something like 32% of our total offense over a 3-year period. And his decline started when we started having the rotating, it's like a carousel of coaches, 3 in 1 year, 2 in the next, and then Dyche. And nobody's going to score playing Dyche ball. So I know he could have left under better circumstances or tried a little harder to stay, but he didn't. I wish him all the best. I don't want to give him any hard time about what he does in his spare time regarding fashion or that he's hurt all the time. I think he gave us our all, and I'm made up for him, actually, that he's playing well in Leeds. Now, with that said, he came into our place and he was held scoreless. So I kind of feel like it was a perfect way for him to make his return. He didn't burn us. He just came in, played a decent game, had one that went off the post, had one that went behind him that Justin there tucked in. So I thought it was a good way to get over his return. And so the next time we face him, it's just going to be a regular game, and we don't have to talk about him anymore. Now, on to the first half. It was a slight tale of statistics. I know that everybody's saying that it was a tale of two halves, and I think that's true when it comes to reflection of big chances and the score ultimately. But they only edged us out about 53-47 in terms of possession, but we won all the duels. Or I should say we edged them out in the duels about 60-40. For all the tackles we attempted, we actually won 91% of them. They only won about 64% of them. So we edged them out in that category. Unfortunately, we weren't able to beat them on the scoreboard. And it seems like the general consensus is that everyone's really unhappy with Dwight McNeil's play. I like Dwight, but if you watch that goal scored by Justin again, Justin runs right past him up the field unmarked, and Dwight's a little slow getting back into the play, and ultimately that's what cost us on that goal. And if you actually play it back, Tarky looks like he gets a foot on it. I'm not sure if he got a foot on it before it crossed the line or if he was actually in the net, but he almost spared us there. I thought Tarky played a good half defensively. He made a couple of decent tackles that weren't called. He early on in the game, I think he shut down Aronson, who he's on the U.S. men's team. Looking forward to watching him play in the World Cup. He's been playing very well for Leeds, but I thought Tarky knew exactly where to draw the line. And then, of course, Pato made some great tackles back there. I thought he did well. We didn't play terribly composed, but I thought the score could have been a lot worse than it actually was. And then, anyway, shortly after that goal, you got DCL there going off the post, dodged a bullet there. At that point of the match, the field was definitely pitched in favor of Leeds. So I thought we deserved to escape with the score being what it was. A little bit lazy on our end. I know it wouldn't have made a whole lot of difference, but Illy laying on the pitch there when there's no foul being called, I'd like to see him get up and join the play a little bit faster, even though the ball was nowhere near him. And I know he didn't figure into that, but you hate to see a goal scored when there's a guy laying on the field waiting for a call that's not going to come. But anyway, there was they had a few more chances. I think it said that they had 4 or 5 big chances in that half, and of course they did get some shots from the top of the area that went high or wide, narrowly. Hard shots. Don't like to see us surrender too many of those, but alas, they did not convert, and I think halftime came just right at the right time for us.
Thanks for that, Mark. Let's go to a word from our sponsor, the amazing Andy's Man Club. Life is hard, and we all have bad days. There are times when we feel we can't cope. This is the time we need to reach out and talk to someone. Andy's Man Club offers local support groups nationwide, running every Monday from 7 p.m, except on bank holidays. In these groups, men can open up about the issues affecting their lives in a safe, non-judgmental environment. Our clubs are designed to be free of pressure. There is no obligation for men to speak, they can simply listen if they wish. Find us today at www.andysmanclub.co.uk. Help one guy, save one life. Andy's Man Club, it's good to talk. Welcome back, Blues. Remember, lads, it's always good to talk. Please, please don't keep it in. The players come out for the second half and we say double substitution. Keenan Dewsbury Hall and Jared Branthwaite replace McNeil and Armstrong. We change the formation and go with a back three. A really, really positive start to the second half by the Blues. There's a couple of Leeds bookings as their frustration grows. Ilian Njai, he had the chance to equalise on the hour, only to see the effort blocked by a defender. Big chance for Everton 3 minutes later. Thierry Barry forces a save out the keeper. The ball goes out of the area and there's Garner Guy who cracks it from long range. An easy save for the keeper. We then see another substitution for Everton with 20 minutes to go. Patterson off and Tyler Diblin on in what was like a very, very attacking move for Moyes, I felt. And then we get our reward for a really good second half. The equaliser finally comes on 75 minutes. It's that man again, Garner Guy. He crosses into the box and there's Thierry Barry, unmarked, to tap the ball home. 1-1 and a well-deserved equaliser. The volume rises around the Dixie as the crowd urges the Blues on. And then Garner rattles a crossbar only minutes later as Everton push on for a winner. Leeds have a couple of late corners in injury time that set the Out There's on edge, but came to nothing. Final whistle goes in a hard-fought draw. Full time, Everton 1, Leeds 1, and here's Mark's thoughts.
And starting up the second half, I wasn't feeling like it was going to go very well because it looked like Tarky got away with a shove right at the top of the area. And the Leeds player had the possession, but nothing called. Maybe from my view, I didn't see it very well. Maybe there wasn't that much egregious contact. But we were shot out of a cannon. The statistics offensively definitely jumped in our favor. I believe the passes were 284 to 105, and that's almost insurmountable. Their goalie had to really rise to the occasion, and their defense really had to collapse on our guys when they had the time and space. And Illy comes down and shanks one off of one of their defensive players, and then right after that, Tieno cuts to the middle and takes a sweet shot. I thought it was technically impressive. I mean, I'm not a player, but I thought it was pretty sweet for him to take a shot with his right foot while cutting to the left on the outside of his foot so that it bends inward. And the goalie makes a stop, but I mean, nice attempt. That kid's confidence is building. I think he's got 5 and 7 now, counting the one that he would later score in the game. But I thought that was a nice display of skill. Pretty cool touch. And then not too much longer, and then really not that much later, Tiano gets another opportunity and sticks it home. Again, great touch. He's really starting to develop a touch around the net, on some of these hard passes in or some of these crosses where in his earlier time with us, he couldn't put the ball in the ocean. So it was cool. I don't know if I like his celebration. I mean, this thing where he kind of wastes time standing down on the goal line pointing at himself with this what, who, me thing. I mean, it's unique, but I don't know, man. Come on over and celebrate with the guy that dished it to you. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. There's a lot of people my age and older that think that it's, I don't know, a little bit self-centered of a celebration. I'm made up for him, I'm glad that he's enjoying himself and finding his groove, but it's a team sport. We got to celebrate as a team and maybe stop wasting so much time in a 1-1 game when we've only got 15 minutes of regular time to get it together and to try to get 3 points against a team that is well below us in the standings. Yeah, you're playing well, Tiano, but let's pretend that you've been here before and be professional and do what we can to rile up our fans and then get back to the center of the pitch so that we can get on with the next one. I don't know if you guys caught it, but right before he turns back and runs upfield, he sort of pays homage to Illy and does a little bell ring motion, and then they go back and line up. And then shortly after that, Ganagay, going off the crossbar, I gotta say, Barry crossed that in, and had he led, I think it was Ndai, a little bit further, he probably could have buried it, and I would venture to say that had Grealish been on that side, it would have been a volley for him, a little more appropriate for him, because he hangs back a little bit further out and a little bit further wide there, and he may have been able to get a shot on goal. It looked like from about minute 55 of that half to about minute 85, it was all us. We were all over him, and then right towards the end of the game, we broke down a little bit, I think, defensively. They did have some good chances at the end of that game. Of course, they ended with the corner. They had that shot that Jordan had to save at the very end, going down the attacking left side, that they looked pretty good. And it was nice to see the boys back from Senegal, and kudos to them for their success. It was great that they were successful, but man, we were missing them for 6 weeks. It was good to see Branny back. It was good to see KDH back. I was kind of hoping for a better result considering all the pieces that we had back and considering that we're playing, Leeds and at home. And that the crowd was really into it. Maybe it's starting to become a fortress. We haven't had a whole lot of luck at home. But whatever, one match at a time. I will say this: we've left points on the table against Wolverhampton, Leeds, and Burnley, and we're not going to be able to do that against the teams ahead of us. It's pretty strong at the top, so I kind of feel like we're not making hay when the sun shines, and that we need to be making sure that we come away with 3 points when it comes to home games against teams that are 4, 5, 6 places below us on the table. So nothing to scoff at, nothing to rave about. We get Keno back, I think, next week, or is he missing another game? I'm not sure. So I have to admit, I wasn't able to watch in real time. I had to go back and watch a replay. I actually had to listen on Sirius XM, and I think we got the Sky broadcast, because despite being a home game, the announcers seem to have a Leeds bias. Certainly weren't calling it as if it was a home game. I don't know if you guys listened on the app in the last few years, but they used to, through the app, you could listen to the game with Graham Stewart and Ian Snodden. So I don't know what happened to that broadcast. If you guys know of a way that I can listen to those guys, it's so much more entertaining to listen to those boys call the game. But anyway, you guys have a great week, and I think the next time we're all getting together is on the 2nd for the Brighton match.
Cheers for that, Mark. Appreciated as always, my mate. So my final thoughts before I leave you. It was a game of 2 halves. We had an absolutely fucking shocking first half. It was absolutely awful, and we were really, really lucky only to go in 1-0 down. Leeds came, and I'd give them the due. They had a really, really good go at us. It was good to see Jared Branthwaite, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall, Garner and Njai back. It really was. We've been thin on numbers like the last few weeks between injuries, suspensions, and obviously AFCON. The point took us up to 10th in the league. Liverpool lost a couple of days earlier, which is always nice. And next up is a tricky away game at Brighton on Saturday. I mean, we travelled quite well, to be fair, so I'm quietly confident about that one. I'd expect at least a draw. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Carl and Mark should hopefully be back with us for the Brighton podcast. Up the fucking Toffees.